Hello! Thank you for once again watching this Ring of Red struggle, wherein that guy is totally a troll and knows exactly what I'm after. So he's now standing on the tile that I need to capture, and there needs to be at least one enemy on the field for me to get the green squad, which I really hope is worth it considering the trouble I'm getting right now. Well, of course, how to resolve this battle in particular, well, that's no problem. So this formation, of course, gives me a very serious problem, which is if I move a foreleg up at close enough range to attack that medium AFW, it's likely to get punched by that anti-AFW that's standing guard. So what do I do? The answer is to lure either one of them away from where they are right now. Cansado seems to be a reasonably popular punching bag, so moving him into move attack range seems okay. And Weizsäcker is also helpful for this sort of thing. So I have to arrange things thus and hope that they don't just stand there forever because, well, aside from the awkward tactics, the anti-AFW is standing in the way of the harbor, so if neither of them move, I'll have to destroy both of them, which ruins what I was going after in the first place. It is, well, yeah. It is tricky. That's what I'll call it. Well, the goal here is to, of course, remove their squads, and since that's an anti-AFW, it's going to move forward a lot. A lot. And I don't have wire because, well, I don't see any supply or even shooters here. Or mechanics. I think one of those has a wire too. Don't have that either. Well, in this situation, I should definitely take my shots quickly, and Incendiary is very nice for that. The power, of course, is not bad at all either. So yeah, those special shells. I think forelegs generally use them better than anyone else because they're viable at 2 ranges, and it also, of course, skips the very lengthy setup time. I think you can get an extra shot just for doing the kinds of shenanigans that I'm pulling right now. And of course, any time that the enemy is busy moving their squads around is good news for me. Oh yeah, the music seems to have glitched out. That happened a couple of times in previous playthroughs. I believe it's a function of the software rather than any kind of emulation problem. Well, okay, that's software too, but I meant the base game software. Now, since I don't want to get punched and the enemy is probably not going to stop walking, I need to back off and hope that my squads are up to it, which they probably are, because, well, short range, I have recon as well. They're pretty good at dealing damage, and... okay, there it is. Problem solved. And John, of course, is way too far back for me to have to worry about taking a couple of shell hits like that. I probably could have escaped, but that animation would take extra time, and who wants that? Also, was it still walking forward while the game said the battle was over? Is that... well, it probably is possible, and I haven't tried it because why? Well, that one didn't go anywhere. Oh man. Of course, the anti-FW was in worse shape because it just lost its squads, and this one is in perfectly reasonable form for a battle, which is good news for me. Sort of. I definitely don't want to get into a full brawl if I can avoid it, but that's what Smoke Shot is for. And they have wire, so... yeah. I definitely won't be able to escape quickly, which makes Smoke Shot doubly important. Now, the enemy is already damaged enough for a dedicated battle to finish it off, which I'm not going to do because I need to concentrate on avoiding damage to Weisegger. But what it actually means is that I don't need to take anti-armor shots in this battle. Instead, I think it's better to just soften up their squads a bit and make things easier for the follow-up in that way. Except, of course, I don't need to do that either, because those aren't the guys I need to finish off. Wow. It's been too long since I actually recorded this footage. My apologies. All I have to do here is survive and then kill the anti-AFW with someone else, and then things will be fine. So these anti-soldier shots are just me trying to chase that squad off and drive it into the back line, which is probably not going to happen because, well, I'm at long range and the damage fall off, and, well, you know how it works. Although the damage fall off also works in my favor here because at medium range, an incendiary from that thing would do more damage than what you just saw there, I promise. Well, I don't need my shooters to push the enemy into long range anymore. That's already happened, so might as well keep them away from the other incendiary shot they have. And taking hits from shooters is no fun, but that alone isn't going to finish me off, and it does push me to escape a little bit faster. Not that it matters, because time's going to run out anyway. So a lot of different things happened, and none of them really panned out in a dramatic way, but it doesn't matter. Oh, you're up next. Well, you've taken some damage, but against an anti-AFW with no squads, this shouldn't be too tough. However, it is extremely important to actually finish the enemy here. Because if I make a mistake, then, well, okay, I have a lot of units that can follow up, but who knows, maybe the medium AFW will move back onto the harbor and things will be horrible, and I just don't feel like taking extra chances, and there's no reason for me to conserve anything. So, yeah, let's throw out some accurate fire, shall we? Yeah, he's missed a lot of the time, especially because of the sun at night. But this time he's gonna hit. Oh! That's more damage than John's shells right there. Yeah, it's a bit late for me to worry about a little hit like that. I guess this could be considered a sneak preview of what's going to happen if Weizsäcker faces a boss. Or Weizsäcker, I'm sorry. Anyway, this is what's going to happen a lot. Wow! Okay. That's getting into close combat class damage right there. Wow. Yeah, you can just... I don't blame anyone for falling over after something like that. That is scary. Him. Whoa, okay. Yes, I'm going to give you attitude. Well, okay, not really. Oh, really now? So it took me a while to put together exactly what was being said in that conversation, but... well, of course Ryoko is really touchy about that, well, dad problem, I guess. And she's saying, "You're nothing like me. You're chasing a hopeless battle while I'm only chasing that, incredibly tough and competent general guy." And Weizsäcker stays surprisingly calm about it, which confuses Ryoko even more. That's my interpretation. Although I think it would have been funny if I said yes about giving her attitude, even though it would make Weizsäcker a huge hypocrite. Well, despite some potentially aggravating enemy movement right at the end, and at the beginning, and sometimes in the middle, things worked out. So, it looks like the highest rank for troop management is S. I know there's some video explaining why S is the highest grade in a lot of these Japan games, but I can't recall right now. So that's as big as the enemy grid gets. As far as I know, there are no maps that have more than 24 enemies. So I think we can take that as a sign that the game is not holding back so much anymore. Also, that green squad. That's E-Wire. That's a shooter squad with frickin' E-Wire. I'm definitely gonna throw that one in. Also, there's a supply with both wire and a PCR shell, which seems really nice. Ahem. So there's no supplies incoming. So, in fact, things did not work out. But there's nothing I could have done about that. Save the drama in this game? Yeah, right. Even though that's John talking, I have to agree in this situation that starvation actually is a problem. Well, that sounds about right. Also, I love these flags. I really appreciate that they put the work into making flags for North and South Japan. It really feels like they did their homework with the whole alternative history setting thing. Of course, even though we're not supplied anymore, they're still gonna tell us to do the stuff that they want us to do. I think that's the main source of them being angry. If they just told us to come home because they're not gonna supply us anymore, that would be a little different, although it would still be aggravating. Oh, lovely. I bet that's good news coming. Yes, I think it does. Well, okay. So he was sort of implying that we take from North Japan, which is... Oh, by the way, official agreements are what mercenaries are all about. You don't really... Okay. Also, as far as I know, our heroes are not actually being paid for this. So they're not so much mercenaries as, I don't know, we'll order you to do things with martial force and pain of death, but we're not actually going to compensate or support you at all. Great guys we're working for, right? Okay, so I guess there's hope still, but man, if we were almost ready to fall over from lack of supplies before, I can only guess what these next couple missions are gonna be like. Also, I ran into a little bit of weirdness with the save files, but don't worry about that. There was no serious problems. Anyway, thanks once again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it so far, and next time we're going on a journey. I'll see you then.